wrong, I'd sit there and ponder on them. And I wouldn't think about the things that could go right. And 9 times out of 10, thank God, I'd see the things that could go right, I'd see them unfold. And so I got to an understanding. I quit worrying about it. I'm just going to do the best I can to do what's right and go on. I can't control what somebody else is going to do. I can't control whether I live or I die. I can't control whether I see tomorrow. But what I can control is I can hold myself in submission unto God. What I can control is doing what's right. And that's all that Jesus has asked us to do, is to do what's right. This morning, somewhere deep down inside of us, it don't matter. I've seen people get old and they were saved maybe 30, 40 years ago, and I've seen them get right with God, and it's just as strong as the day, no doubt, that they got saved. And then I've seen people that went to church all their life. It just seemed that like after year, they began to become more bitter, more hatred, and all that. Who's that hurt? That's one thing I've learned, children. I used to try to hate people and all this, but I'm going to tell you, a lot of the people that I used to try to hate, they didn't even know I had them feelings. So who was it hurting? It's just hurting me. Yeah, right. That's the only one that was bothering. Because I'd get up in the morning and I'd hold on to it and think, man, I can't stand so-and-so. I can't stand them. They done this to me. They done that to me. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. They didn't have a clue that I even thought that way. You know when I found that out? When you go to them and you try to make things right. I went to a man that I had all against for 20 years that I couldn't stand. I went to him and tried to make things right with him twice. He wouldn't have it. Finally, the third time, I'm satisfied he had it because I know I did. But he came so close, it was on his deathbed, children. All that time wasted that we could have had together. All that time of joy wasted because me nor him, neither one, would do what was right. Children, we don't have time to waste. You look at today's time that we're living in. I believe it's just like Paul wrote about. It's perilous time, dangerous time. It's severe. It's real times, children. This world keeps getting worse and worse. It calls upon us. God calls upon us. Why me, preacher? Because you're still here. I don't know why you. I don't know why he wants to use you. I don't know who he wants to use you with. Just be willing to be used by him. And you'll see the benefit of it. Children, we're out here to be a testimony. To do what's right. If you had a little young and 3-year-old in front of you, and they's fixing to get run over by a car coming up through here, there ain't a doubt in my mind everybody here would do whatever it took to tell that young'un, get that young'un out of the street so he wouldn't get run over. He asked us to do the same thing about salvation. Death's coming. It'll run somebody over one of these days. And what if it's too late for them? If they could have been saved, but because nobody sounded the warning, nobody sounded the trumpet, nobody told them about salvation and what happened to them. Old death rolled right over the top of them, took them, and they went out in that place called hell. Children, I'm telling you, it's a serious thing today. But we've got to be like that Samaritan and do what's right all the way. The best we can. You're going to be wrong from time to time, but when you're wrong, and you may not believe this, but this is the way I believe it because it's proved out in my own life. When I'm wrong, I know I'm wrong. Don't matter whether I'm trying to hold on to that wrong or not. When I'm wrong and away from God, I know exactly where I'm at. I don't have to wonder about it. I know how I ought to draw mine to Him. A lot of people say, well, I've done this all my life. I ain't going to do no different now. I went this way and I went that way. And they ought to do this and they ought to do that. And they shouldn't treat me like such. And they shouldn't do this. Children, when I'm wrong, I know I'm wrong. But you know who's the last one to admit that they're wrong? It's me. It's you. We don't like to be wrong. Usually it takes God breaking us down to the point of seeing that, hey, there ain't no other way around this. I've got to get forgiveness. Mama always used to say I had to learn things the hard way, and I reckon I still do. But I'm thankful for that hard way. And now I can understand myself a little different. Children, we've got to do things the right way. That's what He calls us to do. He calls us as Christians, as a saved, as a church. I guess it's last Sunday or Sunday before last, when He said the fields are white and ready for harvest. They're just waiting for somebody to get in them. And say, oh, it's my time. If you're alive this morning, it's your time to be in the field. If you're here this morning, it's your time to be in the field, to be a testimony. You can't sit in a shade tree and expect to reap the harvest and the benefit of the field. Remember your mama's and your papa's, and now if you don't get out here and get to work, I'm gonna come over and get you to work. It's the same way with God. Children, we got to go about it the right way and just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. That's as far as I can go.